Good afternoon. Sorry for the oddball camera angle, but anyway, I'm sitting in my car. I just left the gym. This is, I guess you could say it's another episode of Observations of an American Living in Germany. Well, my wife and I spent a week in Austria. We were in a town called Pongau, and maybe an hour south of Salzburg and about an hour east of Berchtesgaden, Germany, right over the Alps. To say it was beautiful is an understatement. Germany is a pretty clean country. Some of the cities got some dicey areas, but overall Germany is very clean. But Austria, from where I have been, is a lot cleaner. I was really impressed. There wasn't even a gum wrapper on the ground. We went to Hallstatt. We went to the Berg at Hohenwerfen. I believe I said that correctly. That was really cool. And the people at the hotel were really super friendly. One thing I noticed that was kind of peculiar, the hotel had a tiny refrigerator, like something you would have in a college dorm room, and it didn't have any freezer in it. It was just a refrigerator. So I had to keep going down to the restaurant to get ice cubes. And the people were really friendly about it, but they kind of acted like that was odd. Like nobody ever puts ice in their drinks or something. If you go to a restaurant in Germany, as you know, they generally don't do that because they want you to get the value of the bottle or whatever it is you pay for. They don't want it watered down with ice. But and no hotels over here except there's one in Garmisch that has one, but they don't have an ice machine on every floor. So that was kind of different. We got there Sunday. It was 81 degrees, very sunny, very warm, and the room was actually hot. We opened the door to get some ventilation in there. It wasn't humid, but 81 degrees with no airflow, it was pretty warm. But it cooled off pretty quickly, and at night it got nice and cool. Driving in Austria, to drive on their Autobahn, you have to have what's called a vignette. Typically, you stop at the border and buy it. It's a sticker, and it goes on the inside of your windshield. But we did the one they have now electronically. It cost about 11 euros, and it lasts for 10 days. So since we were only there basically 6.5 days, I just did it online, and we didn't have any issues. But they do apparently have license plate scanners, and I guess if you don't have one, they mail you a ticket, but you have to enter your license number. But it was so convenient to do it online, we didn't have to stop. Gasoline was slightly cheaper in Austria, maybe about 10 cents for a liter cheaper, 5 cents a liter. I guess that's a pretty good, maybe 20 cents a gallon. So, but we didn't fill up there. We filled up in Berchtesgaden in Germany, and then we drove through Austria, and then we had enough to get back to I think it's called Trauenstein or something like that. And we can only get fuel at Esso if we want the discount. So we get the American price if we go to an Esso station, but only in Germany. So every time we go out of Germany, we try and fill up at the border. Our next trip will be to Amsterdam, so we'll fill up at the border before we cross into the Netherlands. I guess that would be somewhere, not Trier. I can't. Yeah, maybe it is. It might be up in Trier or that other Aachen or Aachen, Aachen. There's an Esso there, and that's right close to the border. So we'll probably fill up there. Anyway, people in Austria, very courteous drivers. Didn't see anybody do anything crazy. There were a couple times coming out of the hotel, people actually stopped and waved us through. That was pretty amazing. The food was really good. We got pizza there twice, 2 different places. We got this, I guess it sort of looked like a hot dog. Something, now I'm drawing a blank on what they called it, but it was Wurst, Grinderwurst or something like that, with hummus, with fries. It was very good. We got some really, I did post it on YouTube, some good video footage in the car. I mean, that place is so pretty. It was like postcards are made from that place. It looked a lot like Bavaria. Now, some of the Austrian people might take umbrage to that, but it reminded me a lot of Bavaria, the building styles and things like that. You know, you kind of thought you were down in Garmisch or something, but it was very, very nice. The hotel people couldn't have been friendlier. Very, very helpful, and it had a parking deck underneath, which is convenient. The weather was good. We had one day where it was kind of drizzly and rainy and chilly, but every other day it was nice. And when I went to that castle at Hohenwerfen, they had a birds of prey show. That was really cool to watch. Those birds just dive bomb like crazy. But I did post a video of that. I believe I did that Saturday, either Friday night at the hotel or Saturday after we got home. But when we went down there, the GPS took us a different way. We came back through Ingolstadt and I think Nuremberg and Munich. When we went there, it took us a slightly different way. I think it took us a little more to the south. And they actually had a border checkpoint when we came from Austria back into Germany. I can't think of the name. I think it was Autobahn 8. When you get into Germany, everything slows down, and they had the Polizei out there, and it was like going through a toll booth. You would come up almost to a complete stop, and they had a little paddle in their hand, and he just waved you on. I guess they were looking at license plates or looking if anything looked suspicious about the vehicle. And I was going maybe 5 miles an hour, and they just waved me on through. And they did have another car pulled over to the right. I don't know what they were doing. The Polizei were just talking to the people. I didn't happen to notice what license plate was on it. But and Austria did a good job with their tunnels. They were doing construction, and they had 2 lanes going through one tube. So instead of 2 lanes going each way, you had 1 lane, you know, in the same tunnel, 2 different lanes going different directions. So they were doing some construction, but they kept things moving very, very well. They had good signage up, letting people know what was going on. Overall, it was a nice trip. We were in Austria last May, almost a year ago. We were in Salzburg. So this time we went through or right around Salzburg, but we didn't stop in it. Yeah, Austria is really a pretty amazing place. If you're ever thinking of visiting Europe, you've got to see it. And the people, of course, speak German. I'm sure it's a different dialect than what you might hear in Wiesbaden or Frankfurt, but they can all understand each other. Some of the people working at the hotel in Austria were Turkish, and they couldn't have been nicer. The house cleaning people were awesome. They didn't really speak any English, but I used my Google Translator and on my phone, and we figured it out. And the people, there's a restaurant next door called Akasa Mia, I believe it is, and it's a Syrian guy who owns it, and I'm assuming his daughter is the hostess or the server. Super nice people. That was really good. That was really good food. My wife, I ate there twice. My wife and I ate there together once, and we really, I mean, the service was fast. And there was one time on Thursday, we stopped and we had lunch. No, it was Wednesday. It was the day it was raining. It was Wednesday. We went to a Bosnian restaurant, and my wife had this. It was almost like a hamburger in a wrap. It was it almost looked like a burrito, but it was really, really good. And then I had a more traditional hamburger. They were a little heavy on the sauce with it. The meat was outstanding, and the fries were to die for. But they put a little bit too much of the sauce on the inside of it. It's kind of like if you go somewhere and you ask for a little bit of mayonnaise and they put half a jar in it. That it didn't ruin it, but it detracted from it slightly. But still, it was wonderful. Some of these little hole in the wall places. It was behind a grocery store, and the building was about the size of a double wide trailer. But I mean, they were doing a good lunchtime business, so people were coming in there and picking up, construction workers and stuff, picking up stuff to go. So they must be doing something right. But they were from Bosnia, but they live in Austria now. So I guess it's not that far away. So apparently there's a heavy Bosnian community there, and they're known for their fine cooking ability. Coming back into Germany, it was nice to be able to go a little faster. In Austria, the fastest speed limit I ever saw was, I think it was 130, which is 81 miles an hour. But once we got into Germany, we were running, except for where there was construction and stuff, we were running 140, 150 kilometers without any issue. Our car does great at that speed, but I'll tell you what, you do burn more gas. You do burn more gas. We stopped. We had to stop. We topped off once, and then we weren't quite sure we were going to make it all the way back to Wiesbaden. So we topped off again and took a potty break somewhere on the Autobahn, I guess between Nuremberg and Frankfurt, closer to Frankfurt. And when you stop at a Tankstelle on the highway in Germany, they will have a sign telling you, it's 5 kilometers, and then they have the thing underneath it for what brand it is, whether it's Esso, Aral, Shell, or ENI, they call it, which in the United States it was Ajup. It's a 6-legged fire-breathing dog, but they call it ENI in Germany, Eni or Eni, which is kind of nice because we have to go to Exxon, or I'm sorry, Esso is what it is here. It's Exxon in the States. It's Esso everywhere else, but we topped off, and when you go to the service plazas, the rest areas, they're very, very nice. But if you have to use a bathroom, it costs you €1. So you put €1 into it. It's like going on a subway. There's a turnstile there. You put in your money, and it kicks out a receipt, which is a voucher. So it'll usually give you €1 off if you buy some food in there. So if you're gonna get a snack, I guess the bathroom is free. It seems kind of weird because in the United States they normally don't do that. You don't have to pay for a bathroom, but in Germany, their service station rest areas are a hell of a lot cleaner than they are in the States, which is a good thing. So if it's €1 and you gotta go, you gotta go. And then, you get that little ticket and you can use that to buy a snack or buy a soda, but the stuff is usually pretty overpriced. A soft pretzel is like $3.50 or something, instead of €1 or €1.50. A Coke that might be $1.29 at an Aldi supermarket might run you $2.59 there. So it's a little bit more, but €1 to use a bathroom and wash your hands, that's worth it to me. There's also in Austria, the Aldi stores there are called Hofa, or Hef, yeah, Hofa, I think it is. I only knew it was the same store because the logo looks the same. And they had one called Eurospar. That was the store in Pongau, and that was a nice grocery store. They pretty much had everything. I didn't see any Rewe there. I didn't see any Edeka, but supposedly they have Lidl in Austria. I just didn't see any. I just saw the Hofa, which is the Aldi, and they had another supermarket chain. I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, we had a good time, and I would recommend anybody, if you're over here from the States, definitely go see Austria. There's more to it than the big city like Vienna. That's in more to the east. But plenty of that stuff along the Alps is so beautiful. I mean, it's just, the green, the manicured yards. I mean, I don't know if they mow them or what, or if they all sprouted at the same time, but everybody's grass just looked perfect. And, only a few yards even had the yellow, I don't know if they're dandelions or not, but, yellow flowers growing up in it. It looked really nice. But you can tell these people take pride in the way their houses look. Nothing looked run down. Nothing looked slummy. Even in Pongau, I went for a walk around the neighborhood, and, even the trash cans were put up straight. There was no litter, no rubbish on the ground, no graffiti or anything. That really makes me happy to see that people really care. Because it seems like in so many places, they're just, in Germany and in the United States, places are just going downhill. Nobody gives a damn. And in Austria, there's no fund. When you buy bottles of beer or soda or whatever at the grocery store, they don't charge you that annoying deposit. Now, I thought because there's no fund that more people would litter, but that apparently isn't the case. I don't know if they have capital punishment if you live in Austria and you litter. I don't know, but there was no trash anywhere, and it was great not have to pay that fund and then have to lug the bottles back. I mean, I understand why they do that, but it was nice not to have to mess with that. So, anyway, I've rambled on enough. I'm back in Germany. Our next trip will be to the Netherlands. We're going to be in Amsterdam. And in May, it looks like we're going to the UK again. My wife is going on a business trip, and if I buy my plane ticket, I can go with her. And we're not going to take our car over there this time and go through the tunnel. We're gonna fly, and then it's like a 4-day. I think it's a 4-day conference, and then it's in Cambridge, and then we're gonna go to London. We're gonna stay 3 nights at an Airbnb. So we're kind of combining a business trip and a pleasure trip. And then in June we're supposed to go up in the Baltics. So I'll have more to report then. But anyway, well, like I say, I've got a face for radio and a voice fit to print, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Adios.